Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. Happy Monday morning to you. Thank God it's Monday. We made it through the weekend. We have a great week planned. So let's get at it. Let's get active. Shout out to everybody who's already jumped into the best live chat on the internet. I appreciate y'all so much for starting your Monday morning with us. I think we call this the Monday morning meetup. I think that's where we've kind of landed, kind of finessed that out, but that's what we got. Good to see you. All right, she's number one up in the building. What's your like number, by the way? What is it? It has been an interesting morning already because I want to have a conversation about coffee. So if you have your beverage of choice, if you have your coffee, I'm rocking some iced coffee this morning, but if you have yours, make sure you have it. It should be a good conversation, though, for sure. Thank you to everybody who this weekend. Let's talk about that real quick. This weekend, you all were amazing. We put out lots of videos to kind of get a feel for what people are looking for and what they come to the channel for, and is inconclusive because y'all watched everything. So thank you all very much. I do know this, though. Y'all do like watching that Charlie Kirk debate summaries and recaps and analysis. I think y'all like those a lot. So we will definitely keep those coming. So don't worry. We're going to keep them pumping out. We're going to keep them coming. But I do want to say thank you so much to everybody who this weekend watched videos, liked videos, hyped videos. My goodness, in the morning. The hype number. What is our hype number? I don't really know what YouTube is doing with this hype number thing, by the way. But hey, they say it helps push out smaller content creators, and I definitely am a smaller content creator. Let me see, where do we land with hypes this weekend, or actually over the week in general? So for the month, if I could type, maybe I need some coffee. You gotta select them, Jason. There you go. All right. So for the month, we currently have 1,416 hypes. Okay. I guess that means something. 688,000 views. I'd love to hit 1 million. We got what, 7 days? Is it possible to hit 1 million in 7 days? I guess so. It's possible. Watch time, 74,000 watch hours. And hype points, 518,080. That's amazing. There's some videos, man, that got like 83,000 hype points on that video alone. I have no idea what this means, though. YouTube doesn't tell you what it means. It is like, hey, ask for hypes. Okay, well, thank you, YouTube. What does it mean, though? So I want to say thank you, everybody who popped in. And I will be putting out some surveys. I do want to see, like, if there's certain things that you like. I see somebody said this right here. They love the Vody sermons. Thank you. That's what kind of feedback I need. Thank you so much. I will make sure. I can't promise you all the time. It'll always be Vody, but it will always be somebody who's theologically sound and somebody who you'll get some value from. Let me pull this in just so y'all can see what I'm looking at. All right. I hope you can see this. All right. So on my YouTube analytics here, again, like that video with the ex-employee that used to work for Blexit, man, y'all hyped that thing like crazy. Y'all like Natalie. Shout out to Natalie. 38,000 hype points. Officer Tantrum. I mean, again, shout out to the guy. That video from the Blexit guy, 225 hype points. I mean, hypes. Natalie, 104. Brandon Tatum, 99. That's amazing. Thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate it. And lots of good watching. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it. The weekend was great. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend. Just to give you all an update, because I did tell you all, so I might as well keep you up to speed. My mom's shoulder surgery has been put off. She has to go have blood work done, and she has to go to a pulmonary specialist, make sure her breathing is okay. Because if you're familiar with people who have polio, they have a strange diaphragm, so they don't breathe properly a lot of the time. My mom coughs all the time. And that's been like since I was a little kid. So they, for whatever reason, they need to double check, triple check, and make sure she's good to go on that. So as soon as she knows, I'm sorry, as soon as she goes, she's going tomorrow, Tuesday. And then from my understanding, they book them every Tuesday. So it'll either be the following week or the week prior. I mean, the week after that. After that, I got to, because I'm going out of town. So hopefully it'll be sooner than later and we can get her on the men's rather than me going out of town and her being in the hospital with her shoulder situation. So that's that. Thank y'all so much for praying for it. Thank you so much for your encouragement. Shout out to Chrissy up in the building, making herself known. She says she's number 9. Good to see you. Thank you so much. All right. So what are we doing today, Jason? What we got real quick? Y'all, I don't, if the Republicans, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just have the hat. I have a wall of hats right here. I'm sure y'all can imagine. I have quite a few hats. I have a wall of hats right here. I did the math and counted them out the other day because they're like in a little grid pattern. And I think I have 27 hats. That's crazy work. And I was like, I haven't worn this Duke one in a while. So I literally just reached up and grabbed it. I have the ones that I wear often. They're like in arm's reach. And the ones I don't, they're like really out of reach. So I had to go out of my way. And so I'm going to wear the Duke hat today. I really don't know. I don't keep up with college basketball like that. But hopefully they'll go all the way, I guess. Shout out to him. Shout out to Adam. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much for a very kind email this morning. Hopefully some things will come together from that. Thank you so much for that, sir. Back to what I was saying. If the right, the conservative, the Republicans, whatever you need, GOP, if they lose these midterms after what I'm about to show you, y'all really, it's our fault. It's our fault. The Democrats don't want to win. Democrats do not want to win. And if they do, it is going to be because Republicans gave them the victory. There's no other way around it. There's no reason for any Democrat to be walking around with his or her head up high. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should walk around with a bag over their head. They should not feel proud about nothing. And if Republicans lose, it is only because no, I don't know. I know nothing about it. I don't keep up with that at all. Nope. Again, this President Firstborn goes to Duke. That's the only reason I have a hat. But if the Republicans lose, it is only because the Republicans just felt like, you know what, we're just tired of winning. We're going to go ahead and give it to the Democrats. That's it. There is absolutely, positively no reason on the planet for Democrats to win this coming midterm. None. None whatsoever. Not a bit. Okay, so, all right, Jason, all right, you stoked the fire. What are you talking about? Watch this foolishness.
Y'all, this TSA.
Hold on. Wrong one, because we're going to watch that in a second. That's the one about coffee.
I'm leaving, but TSA is outside, wrapped around, not even inside.
This is my airport. This is the Atlanta airport, the busiest airport in the world. And they are playing games with TSA workers. They are playing games with our security. They're playing games with your spring break, getting to your family, getting to your work environment, whatever like that. They are playing games. If Democrats win after this, if y'all leave from these airports, because I'm only looking at Hartsfield Jackson, but this is all over the country. If y'all leave from this airport and vote Democrat, that's your fault. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. Just go ahead and accept what you get. Watch this. That promenade is usually just as wide open and just is moving fast and all that. There's none of this ever happens.
This is insane. This is TSA lines literally being looped around.
The main line.
All the way down there and back around.
So now they dancing in line. They got to do something. I don't know. I don't know why they did that, but okay. I mean, that's what they got to do. They got to do it.
We start here, have to go all the way down and back, and then go down there.
Look at this.
Oh, you're gonna post that online? Let everybody.
Wow, this is the open. Yo, I'm telling you, any Democrat that gets elected, this is our fault. There's no reason. Just this alone. They're doing this to Americans. They're doing this to voting citizens of the United States, all because they want to allow non-citizens to be in this country. This is insane.
That's what this is what I even said.
Guys, if you know anything about Atlanta Hartsville and you know where baggage claim is, this is the pre-check line. This is how far back. This is where pre-check is. Pre-check is at baggage claim. General boarding is back behind as if you're going to the MARTA bus.
I really wish I could tell you how far away this woman is. Pre-check is the one where you give them all of your information. They already know you. It's definitely an invasion of privacy, right? That line is supposed to be quick, fast, and hurry. People pay hundreds of dollars to be able to be in pre-check, right? All of my family's on pre-check, okay? And we went through the process. I mean, they check your shoes. They know everything. They know my prescription on my glasses. They know everything about you. And you're supposed to go through that line like this. For that line to be that long, I really don't think you fully grasp how long that line must be. Because even when you get in pre-check, they got the usual, merry-go-round Six Flags type of thing going on. For that line to be where it is, that's a sin and a shame. If y'all vote Democrat, you get what you get.
Y'all, I am in the pre-check line. And remember, I told you guys, Clear is closed. Digital is closed. So if you have Clear, you're just going to go through the regular pre-check line. If you have digital, like myself, you still just go through the regular pre-check line. Like everybody that has any type of pre-check just goes through pre-check.
Oh, and that's the other thing. They're cutting down, of course, when they have been reducing workflow, they've been reducing the workflow in what? The pre-check. Because this is your business class people. This is the people who are more affluent. These are people who are willing to make the sacrifice to allow them to, again, it might be, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it's $200. But, to pay the money to be able to go through TSA faster. So they've been reducing that. So you got to go in there with the great unwashed, just the regular people who pay nothing. And this is crazy, man. This is a whole sin and a shame. I mean, I don't even know. I'm making up a new sin. Like this is the 12th commandment. Thou shalt not cut down TSA. I'm just saying that's what I'm. This is insane. If you vote Democrat after this, okay. And I'm sorry, I'm worried about the other places. Atlanta, because Trump is sending ICE to Atlanta to start managing this, and they'll be the TSA agents. So prayerfully, this will be resolved before the week. We will keep our eyes on this. And no, I'm not going down there to Hartsville Jackson. Don't you dare. Don't you even think it, right? I'm not going down there at all. But prayerfully, this will be resolved. I'm worried about the other places, though. I'm supposed to be going to San Diego in 2 weeks. I'm worried about San Diego TSA to get me back to Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to figure it out. I do think that. But it's the other places that I'm worried about. Those other blue cities. What about Chicago? They don't want ICE there. Remember New York? Now y'all don't want ICE. All of a sudden, now y'all want ICE. Now y'all want ICE, even in the summer.
This is crazy.
Absolutely. That's insane.
This is real.
That is some insanity right there. Maybe every day, maybe we'll just do like an airport check-in or something like that. But that is absolutely wild. That is absolutely insane. And what do we do? What do we do? I know one thing though. If you vote Democrat after this, after them just playing games with you and treating you like a pawn, you get what you get. I mean, I don't know what else to say. At this point in the game, they don't care about you. You are literally a number, somebody that can move around on the chessboard or line up at the airport and just have you just all discombobulated for their purposes alone. There's no benefit, there's no reason that those lines are like that. There's none whatsoever. We could call it the TSA update. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do an Atlanta TSA update as hopefully things get better. But yeah, that was absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't know what I only looked at Atlanta because I live here in Atlanta, of course, and there's an Atlanta group on X that I follow, and it just was a treasure trove. I was like, wow, this is very informative. We're not gonna do like the TSA update or anything like that, but if you find like, hey, this is what's going on in this airport or whatnot, you can send it to me. Maybe we'll just add it all. Let's do like a TSA update, Dallas, San Francisco, LAX, whatever. Maybe we'll do that. But I just think this is so telling about how they feel about us as the great unwashed, as the hoi polloi, that they would do this to you and restrict you 2 hours of wait for travel. That means that you have to get there. What? If your flight is at 8 o'clock in the morning, you might as well sleep there, for crying out loud. Like, that's crazy work. Red eyes are going to be a whole new thing. I got to get there the night before so that I can get in there, so I can be ready. That's out of control. Okay, I'm sorry. Looking through here. Okay. I'll pull up some of it. It looks like some good commentary in the chat. But okay. I thought this was very interesting. This has nothing to do with Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson, TSA lines, right? Has nothing to do with that. But I just thought it was super interesting what happens when we carry out socialistic ideas to their full illogical conclusions. So, and I don't think anybody better than this could happen to than Starbucks. So let me bring this in. I think you'll enjoy this. It's a little end zone dancing around Starbucks because they made some horrible decisions, especially during the pandemic. I think Starbucks, and again, I'm a Starbucks stan, if you will. They got a lot of my money. They got a lot of my money. I've been a Starbucks fan for many, many years, but I've been displeased with what they've been doing as a company. And this is what happens. So shout out to the best live channel on the internet, Green Hearts in the chat when you can hear. Let's make that louder. Let's go.
And so here's a video that popped up on my timeline. And I think actually it's important to preface that this is not a real Joe Rogan video. It's one of those trickster videos where they edit it to make it seem as if Joe Rogan's calling to put it up, and then they put an AI Joe Rogan voice on top of it. But nonetheless, it's a nice kind of overview of the topic. Just take a look.
Check this out. This is wonderful. Starbucks workers in Seattle are colliding with harsh economic reality as repeated strikes and escalating demands trigger store closures instead of concessions. Baristas, organized under Workers United, walked out demanding higher wages, increased staffing, and expanded benefits, pushing for raises as high as 64% immediately and 77% over 3 years. But as sales declined and pressure mounted, Starbucks responded with a sweeping restructuring plan under under CEO Brian Nickel, shutting down multiple unionized locations and cutting corporate staff. Several Seattle stores, including high-profile Reserve locations, closed despite protests, with the company citing poor financial performance rather than union activity. Workers, many unable to sustain unpaid strikes, returned to jobs only to find their stores permanently shuttered, with no transfer options offered.
Oh, I am unironically laughing behind the microphone. I'm struggling to get this segment going because it's just too damn good, or probably a better way to describe it, it's just too poetic. And I gotta tell you, it gets a little bit old in this industry, being right all the time. I'm not saying that out of ego. I'm one of the few political commentator who doesn't lead with ego. I never pretend as if I'm the most educated, most intelligent mind of all time, who knows absolutely everything about everything, and every opinion that I state is the gospel truth. No, I'm very much just a normal dude. I get things wrong. I try my best, but time and time again, I'm just proven right. I mean, maybe I should.
I mean, baristas on strike, no contract, no coffee. I don't know what that other little sign says right there. I'm sorry. This never goes well. Never goes well. Not on a consumer product that people can live without. And the bad thing is, Starbucks has infiltrated so many other markets. You can get iced coffee at your Kroger. You can get the hot coffee. You can get all that stuff. You don't actually need to go to the store as much as people think. So this idea that, oh yeah, we'll strike and get, they said 64%. Like, what is that? What is that? So if I'm making $10, I want to make what, 22? That's insane. Yeah, that's exactly, you get what you get. And see, Starbucks has been doing this for the longest. I remember when they rolled out their iced drinks, their lattes and that kind of stuff, and the frappuccinos in those bottles in the grocery store and so on and so forth. They're going to be okay. Starbucks will be okay without the store. I hate to say it. Y'all will be the ones that'll be over there twitching in the corner because you need it. That these baristas did not think this out. But continue.
Grow my ego a little bit. Of course not, because honestly, it's less to do with my intellectual ability and more to do with just common freaking sense. It's like I always say, you got all these big brain leftoid economists, all these big brain Democrats and leftists who stayed in school for 20 years. They've got 7 different PhDs, $7 billion in student debt. They're the smartest people ever. And time again, my mechanic, the guy who does general construction contracting work for me, time and time again, tends to have a much better track record than all the big brain supposed experts. And this is especially more true when it comes to these young propagandized kids, these far left socialist revolutionaries. You want to appear like the smartest person on the planet, then whatever the green-haired septum ring people are saying, just adopt the opposite opinion. It's kind of like the inverse Kramer index or whatever you call it. Let's call this the inverse gender non-conforming person index, and you're going to have a pretty stellar track record. You're going to be right.
Let me point out just how myopic this thought process is. Shout out to somebody just said that. Oh, there it is right there. Starbucks is at my local Kroger. LOL. Okay, there are Starbucks locations in your local Krogers a lot of the time. Different grocery stores have them in there. The funny thing is, the employees that work there oftentimes are actual employees of the store. They've just been trained at Starbucks. So what does that mean? They don't unionize. They're getting paid to make your coffee. So if these little shenanigans that we're looking at right here scuttles every independent standalone Starbucks store, guess what? The ones inside the grocery stores will still be fine. The ones inside the hotels will still be fine. The ones probably in the airport will still be fine. See, this is such a myopic thought process. I don't think people have thought it out. It just seems it's laughable to watch. I'm like, just go do something different. Just go do something different. So let liberal hive mind finish.
About a whole lot of things, you'll be really feeling yourself. And this is exactly one of those cases. And really, I think it all comes down to common sense, but also humility. I think a lot of the times people...
Why are all their logos look like Marxist logos? I mean, the fist. Like what is that? Do you think that's by mistake? You think it just happened to, you think that just happened like that? Well, yeah. It just seems interesting.
Or attribute intelligence as if intelligence is the most important factor to analyzing daily events, the news cycle, economics, yada yada, whatever it is. But in this particular case, and in many cases with economics, or the conversation between socialism, capitalism, what it really comes down to is humility. Are you an entitled brat or not? And that's really the problem with these young leftoids. You know, you could have 140 Mensa frickin' IQ, Ivy League degree, an absolute big brain genius. You're really good at solving math equations. But if you don't have humility, you're going to get so many things wrong. And so many of these young leftists, they lack humility. They believe they're entitled to something. And that's exactly what this is. These Starbucks employees, they believed as if they were entitled to more, to the extent that they thought they could blackmail the company into essentially doing their bidding. And instead, what did they get? A fast track to the unemployment line. And it's really not surprising why. You don't get to dictate your worth in the job market by throwing a freaking tantrum. I deserve this, because no, everything in life is earned. And if you don't like the current situation that you're in, well, then the proper response is to develop skills that are in high demand and then to work your butt off. But no, what these people want is to extort a higher standard of living. Well, my friends, that is not the way the world works. And actually, speaking of these entitled far left socialists, I thought I'd play this clip. This is a viral moment from Caleb Hammer's Financial Audit. I think it kind of speaks to the general far left young socialist archetype that I'm referencing here.
We just don't.
Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. I just want you to look at this man and this woman. Just look at them. Just look. I'm gonna mute it for a second because I don't want you to get distracted by what she says. I just want you to look at her. Okay, so we got this. Look at them. Just look. Yes, I am judging a book by its cover. I am. But for real, people, for real. Absolutely for real. Okay. Here, I'm gonna back it up a little bit because I want you to listen to what she's saying. And nose ring. Okay, you know what? Okay, here, let me pull it back up. All right, give me some warning signs. What are some warning signs? The septum ring. I don't know what this thing is. This nose clip thing. Septum ring. Y'all are definitely not team septum ring for sure. That's how I know you, my people. All right, I'm going to go on a limb. I know this is probably yes. This is probably not the most favorite. This might be a hot take. I am not a fan of tattoos. Now, aren't there people that you rock with that have tattoos? Absolutely, there are. When you couple these tattoos with these individuals right here, the double blonde, the double dyed hair, the different rings and piercings and such like that, it does create a story. It does create a narrative. I've never been a fan of tattoos. Yeah. And again, I have friends that have tattoos. I do podcasts and collaborations with people, but it is definitely a sign of rebellion. Yes. It is a sign of rebellion. And listen to what she's asking for and ask yourself, like, ma'am, couldn't you have made yourself more marketable instead of drawing on yourself? Couldn't you have made yourself more marketable instead of, making yourself a living pincushion? Couldn't that not have helped you out way more than sitting here saying what you're saying? Let's back up a little smidge and let them go.
Archetype that I'm referencing here.
We just don't really get political like
You're
that.
a year in.
I
think both
seen
sides
it.
are evil for politics. Like, no matter what.
That's true. I'm honestly kind of with him on that point. Like, it's all just bad. Like, I don't.
Extremism is bad, but even
It's
still.
all just bad.
Huh?
It's all just bad. Like, I agree that like the three-letter
Some have
agencies
good
aren't
intentions.
great. I don't think the government really is out to help the common man. I think it's out to help billionaires get richer. Like, I agree
Hey,
with
we
him
have the
to
most
that.
progressive income tax system in the entire Western world, to be clear. Federal.
Okay, why is it not
be better.
helping me? Why has the system not helped anybody I know?
System,
Why is
go
this
Okay, so I don't even know. This is an example, in my opinion, of just you've heard these things said, but you don't actually know what they are. You don't know if they actually work. You don't know how to apply them. And good grace alive, you don't know how to defend them. So she just says stuff like, why does this not help me? Is it supposed to help you? Why do you want the government to help you? You have an able body. I'm going to go on a limb and say this young lady is about 26, 27 years old. It might even be wrong. I might be giving her a year or two there. Like, you're just saying that. Where did you get that from? That's supposed to happen. Like, why do you want the government to help you? Like, don't you see the problem in that sentence? So let's let him finish up, because he's gonna talk about something that I rarely hear people talk about.
Get a better job. That's your choice to get the education you wanted. What did you get? What was your degree?
I got an associate's in marketing.
And
so you don't have a degree. I'm sorry, an associate's is not a degree. And I'm going to go on a limb too. I don't think associates in marketing is a real thing, unless you went directly to a school that, like, what are you doing? No. And he's going to say something here that I don't think I've ever heard anybody mention when dealing with a person on the left. Let me back up a little smidgen to give him a running start. Listen to this.
I got an associate's in marketing.
And that's the system's fault that you decided to get an associate's in marketing? That's an interesting choice. You have a little bit of agency. I'll agree there's some...
I don't hear people talking about agency. I don't, myself included. You have the ability to do things here in the United States. You chose to use your free will. I guess when I say free will, that is a translation of agency. You used your free will to draw on yourself. You used your free will to turn yourself into a living pincushion. Did you really think that you were going to become a marketable person in the general world with lip tattoos and lip piercings? I think she has one on her cheek. Now I look at it as a piercing on her cheek. And my dude has a tattoo all the way up the back of his neck. Did you use your agency to do that? You did that. Hold on. Oh, okay then. Okay, technically then. Okay, so I have an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's. So I have 3 degrees. There you go. I like how you did that. No. I believe in marketing. If you went and got your associate's degree, you have not become a marketable person. You've only done 2 years of school. Marketing is very needed. There's no judgment there. Is that these people have not made themselves marketable. There it is. Okay, let's go. Hey, I knew it was coming. I knew when I said it, I was going to get in trouble. I knew it. I knew I was going to get in trouble when I said it. It was a hot take. I know. Email management, jwitt@jwitt.com.
Interesting things that, like, segregation stuff, not good. Government system, bad, not good. You're in a position where you can pretty much do anything and everything. You have agency. I don't want to hear the system doesn't help you. Ooh. Yes, in our capitalism, where our stock market is the best in the world, people get very wealthy with their unrealized gains. That is true in the ownership of companies that they start or invest in. That is very true. But also, the median American has more disposable income than any other Western country. That means after all the necessary expenses, essentially healthcare, all that good stuff. Okay, disposable income.
Okay, something I noticed. I'm gonna back up. Watch the girl's face. Why is she blinking like this? Watch her face. When he starts bringing the noise, she situates her top when because her arms are folded initially, and then she takes her hand. Watch her eyes start going crazy. Watch. What's that about?
Not good. Government system, bad, not good. You're in a position where you can pretty much do anything and everything. You have agency. I don't want to hear the system doesn't help you. Yes, in our capitalism, where our stock market is the best in the world, people get very wealthy with their unrealized gains. That is true in the ownership of companies that they start or invest in. That is very true. But also, the median American has more disposable income than any other Western country. That means after all the necessary expenses, essentially healthcare, all that good stuff. Okay, disposable income, you got it all. The system didn't prevent you from getting a bachelor degree. The system didn't tell you have to go work in card games.
Card games?
System help you? What do you mean? You don't contribute. You don't contribute. If we're just being honest, system, if we're just being honest, you do not contribute to the tax.
At least I pay my taxes.
No, that's what I was saying. You don't contribute to the tax system in this country.
No.
You're part of the lower 50%, which is not a bad thing. That's not a shameful thing, but the lower 50% that contribute less than 1% of all net federal income taxes in the country. 50% contribute less than 1. We have the most progressive income tax system. How do all the European countries pay for all the good stuff? VAT taxes, sales taxes, natural sales taxes. That's a flat tax. That hurts people like you. Okay? That's how they pay for the good stuff. Federal income tax, we have the most progressive Western income tax. Okay? So system not helping you, we barely ask for you to do anything. You pay such a minuscule percentage, and what degree you decided to get was on you. You're going to make me sound like the most right-winger in the world talking about this, but you're just so beyond victim mindseted in this. When I heard the system, why does the system help me?
I don't think
that's just the most backwards thoughts.
I'm not blaming
you just
the
asked
government.
why wasn't the system helping me?
Why, not me specifically. Why are they not helping anybody?
What do you mean not helping anyone? 50% of our literal federal expenditures in this country go to social programs. 50%.
Okay, let's
50%, not helping anyone. 50%.
You see it every single time, right?
Ooh.
It's nothing but an entitled victim.
Did y'all see that? Am I tripping? Like, she was definitely not feeling what he was saying. Them eyes was going absolutely bonkers. And I think he was giving her some real truth about that. She made the decision. She used her free will. And I'm not saying that you can't be successful with an associate's degree. I hope nobody heard that part. What I am saying is this young lady right here definitely needed to do. She probably needed to not get an associate degree and actually learn how to turn a wrench, right? Something that makes your hands dirty at the end of the day, probably be more beneficial for her than going to get an associate's degree in women's study or whatever else that she would have done. I think she's in marketing. I take that back. I still think she would have been much better off. And same thing with my guy next to her. But continue. Let's go.
Mindset. And the funniest part is that it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, you've got these young individuals who are unhappy with their current standard of living, their purchasing power, their ability to get ahead. And instead of putting their heads down, working hard, instead of smacking the anvil, going through the damn crucible, they want it handed to them. Give it to me. The federal government should give me what I want. And the irony there is the more you grow government, the more burdensome or progressive that the tax structure becomes, the worse off these people become. It's counterintuitive. The answer is economic freedom and hard work, not unions, not big government. Well, we need more social programs. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Healthcare is expensive. The solution is more government. What does that lead to? Somali daycare and hospice fraud? Medicaid and Medicare fraud? Bureaucratic bloat? Unaffordable trash socialist style healthcare? Give me a frickin' break. The solution is always more freedom, less government, more competition. You know, healthcare would be a whole lot cheaper if it wasn't just a few insurance companies and healthcare providers basically rigging the system, paying off politicians, and artificially crafting endless growth. No, the solution is less government, putting the power back in the hands of the people. It's like a downward spiral, self-fulfilling prophecy. A bunch of useless, lazy people with no skills, people who don't want to get their hands dirty, people who don't want to go through the grind of busting their frickin' tail off. No, they want everything handed to them. They'd rather have a scapegoat, a cop-out. The problem is the evil billionaires. Now, the evil billionaires must succumb to our demands, our intimidation, our blackmail, and give us what we want. Well, that leads to two things. In the corporate world, that leads to failed attempts to unionize and getting laid off. And in a governmental sense, it leads to punitive tax measures punishing productivity in the pursuit of success and a lower standard of living for all. The pursuit from these young leftoids is that everybody should have everything, but their ideology time and time again leads to everybody having nothing. And yet they just can't see it. They're blinded by their delusions of grandeur, as if they know best. Your green-haired 20-something-year-olds working at Starbucks because, frankly, probably your parents failed you and had you pursue a useless career or non-existent career, and now you want to get bailed out of your situation. But what you should do is develop a little bit of humility, accept your own failed decision-making skills. You put yourself in that situation. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't develop skills that are relevant in the workplace, and so now you're a basic laborer, and you have nobody to blame but yourself. You're not entitled to magical pay raises. And if you have an issue with affordability, the problem is not billionaires who are creating wealth and creating jobs. No, the problem is Washington rigging the game. The problem problem is inflation, mass migration, putting downward pressure on your wages, illegal migrants illegally competing for those jobs and again pushing down your wages, burdensome regulations, making housing more expensive. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The solution's staring these people straight in the face, and yet they just can't see it. No, it's always billionaires. The answer to everything is unionization. But that, my friends, is a path paved to hell. We need to bring back common sense thinking. We need to bring back personal accountability, hard work, fulfilling one's own destiny, and getting government and collective bargaining the hell out of the way. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, that was the liberal hive mind. Excellent content creator. And I just want to show you like how inconsistent these people are. So I think we all, and I will attest, you know, Starbucks is liberal, right? Starbucks is a liberal company. And there's many a day I'm like, man, I wish I never started drinking Starbucks coffee, but it is what it is. But they're liberal. And it's funny because this liberal company and the CEOs that have helped push this thing in that direction and stood on those liberal principles don't live by those things, right? Let me show you what I mean. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz announces his move to Florida. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz has moved to Miami. Welcome to Miami. Schultz made the announcement on Tuesday. This is on the 11th of March. On his LinkedIn page, saying that he and his wife have entered the retirement phase of their lives. We are enjoying the sunshine in South Florida and allure to our kids on the East Coast as they raise families of their own, he said. Schultz served as CEO 3 separate times as a Seattle-based coffee giant. Like many other Seattle-based companies, this is it. Starbucks today stands on the shoulders of many Pacific Northwesterners who built the company. They helped shape the culture, the benefits, and the brand, contributing to the civic, community, and public life of the city and the state. It is our hope that Washington will remain a place for business and entrepreneurship to thrive, creating essential opportunity for those in Seattle and the surrounding areas, he said. His post came the same day that a billionaire's tax passed in Washington House. The bill would create a 9% tax on households in the state earning more than $1 million. How convenient, Mr. Schultz. Schultz has a net worth of $3.5 billion, according to Forbes. Last week, Starbucks announced that Tennessee would be the home of their new corporate operations center. But Tennessee is a red state. How interesting is that? The coffee giant said that the global headquarters will stay in Seattle's SODO neighborhood. Well, yeah, of course, but you're moving a lot of your business off the West Coast. I wonder why. John Scholes, president and CEO of Downtown Seattle Association, told the news radio, the decision underscores the competitive pressures Seattle faces in retaining and attracting jobs. We're in a super competitive marketplace when it comes to locating and growing jobs in Seattle, and we haven't added jobs in the last year. That's crazy work. In fact, we've lost jobs, Scholes said. We've seen a lot of job growth on the other side of the lake, but not in the city of Seattle. And that coincides with a significant increase in business taxes and employer taxes. Man, it's almost like you get what you get. It gets what you vote for. Like there's almost like, you know what, there's some ramifications to voting a certain way. And I think it's very disingenuous for Schultz to be coming to Florida after, no, you stay yourself over there in Seattle. But let me see what y'all are talking about over here. Wait, what is this? I like the strong New Orleans blends of coffee. Starbucks is too weak for me. We have a coffee place, Java Mo's, probably a chain too, but coffee is real coffee. Lena said she wants a real coffee. Tennessee is a red state, but Nashville is a blue city. Yeah, I wonder, they don't say where they're going. So I would like to know, where do they actually hold up? Are they in Nashville, or I doubt they're gonna be in Chattanooga, but we'll see. Tennessee whiskey, how did Tennessee whiskey get into the chat? Another great coffee company to support is Cabin Coffee. There is one in Columbia, Tennessee. Shout out to Cabin Coffee. Okay. Is it a brick and mortar? Do they roast and pack their own beans? Like what kind is it? They moved to conservative states and turned them liberal with their voting. They just don't get it. I really wish they'd stay away from us. I agree with you 100%. Washington State. Well, tell me how you really feel, Candy. Don't hold back. We will be getting out of here soon. Our property tax is sky high. We pay the highest gas tax here as well. In Washington State, really? I didn't know that. You were mentioned on Chicks on the Right, but was a Rage Bronson video. Oh, shout out to the Chicks on the Right. What did they say about me? They say something nice about me? Did they say I have a nice beard? What did the Chicks on the Right say? Like just a minute ago? Because they're live right now. Shout out to Chicks on the Right. They got a lot of people watching too. Shout out to them. Okay. It looks like they're talking about a lot of stuff. Let me know what. Wait. There's something about Candace right there. Let's see. Okay, let me pull this in so we can. Hold on. Is this what they said? I have absolutely no idea. Sorry.
I was a bad person. I don't know how to say it. I just was a really bad person, a person that I'm not proud of. And I didn't treat people well. I wasn't true to my word. And I was mean. And that meanness came from an anger, a deep-seated anger.
Isn't that so interesting?
It's very, very interesting. Yeah.
They should play that whole thing.
I mean, nothing has changed.
It's gotten worse. It's amplified. It's amplified.
Yeah.
By like 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so mean. I mean, some of the tweets that she sends to people, my God, she's vicious.
Oh, here it is right here. I see it.
She also makes money from a Zionist. Is just, how does she explain that away?
Both of them can't explain it away. I'm kind of disgusted by both of them, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that is not okay. There was a video, the Jay Witt podcast talked about this also, and here is what he said about that.
Not to mention, on the flip side of that, Candace Owens is making money for a Zionist. So that's go.
Do they think that I'm Rage Bronson because he has a Jay Witt podcast hoodie on? Oh, they might think that I'm Rage. They might think he got too many tattoos to be me. Oh, that's hilarious. Because it's got this is my short that I put up. Oh, they probably think I'm Rage. That is comedy gold. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm going to send this to I'm going to have to. Oh, man, Rage, I done stole your shine. He has a Jay Witt hoodie on. It has the Jay Witt logo on it. They probably think I'm him. Oh, that is some comedy gold. Okay.
Goes to show how principled Candace Owens is when it comes to, we got to stop supporting the Zionist movement. Yeah? How come you haven't stopped doing business with Brandon Tatum then, Candace? Brandon Tatum's a Zionist. Comes right out and says it. Even refers to himself as a black Zionist.
Yep. Well, I mean, she would have to have some standards to do that.
Fair. And we know that she's
Shout out to Chicks on the Right. Shout out to Chicks on the Right. That is comedy gold. Let me clip that real quick and send it to Rage Bronson.
Brandon Tatum's a Zionist. Owens. On the
the Jay Witt podcast talked The Jay Witt podcast talked about this also, and here is what he said about that.
Not to mention, on
That
the
is
flip
so
side
funny,
of that,
man.
Candace Owens is making money for a Zionist. Brandon Tatum's a Zionist, comes right out and says it, even refers to himself as a
Hold on, let me send this to Rage Bronson. I'm going to send the chicks on the right message and say that is Rage Bronson, not me. Yeah, let me do that right now. Here, y'all can see me do it right now in real time. That has got to be the funniest thing I've seen in a minute. Let's see. All right. I said, that's Rage Bronson, not Jay Witt. He's not nearly as handsome, but he does wear a nice hoodie. LOL. Thanks for the shout out. All right. Let me send that to them real quick. That is hilarious. It says Handcome. I misspelled handsome. Even trying to be funny. That's what I get. All right. That's hilarious. Thank y'all so much. Now I'm going to send this over to Rage Bronson. Let me go send it to him in X. That is outstanding comedy right there. That was good. Thank you. So whoever told me that, thank you so much. I got it right here if you need it. Here, I dropped the link. Here's the clip that I made from it. Oh my gosh, there's more pictures of Hartsfield Jackson Airport. We can't do this all day. We'll be here all day looking at these crazy pictures. I just hope they get it fixed. Let me get Bronson real quick. Where's this dude? There he is, right there. All right. So I just sent that to Bronson. Shout out to that. Thank you so much. That was very, very funny. I did not have that planned this morning. That's pretty funny. All right, what we got here? Oh, let me see what did they actually reply to it? No, they didn't. Okay, they didn't reply. Okay, cool. Good morning, everybody. I've been listening, and I am my own barista. I love Starbucks coffee. I buy the Keurig pods and make my own coffee. It's delish. Nothing better than coffee. Are you trying to seek 64% pay raise and more benefits and stuff like that? Because that's what they're doing at the baristas. That's what they're doing at the stores. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Oh my gosh, who's a Temu Charlie Kirk? I'm assuming it's Charlie Kirk. Who's a Temu Charlie Kirk? Because that does sound funny. Okay, I forgot. That's more awful. Not surprised though when you're talking about the bride of Temu Charlie Kirk. Oh, who we talking about? Who's the Temu Charlie Kirk? Yeah, that actually is pretty funny. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, talking about George Farmer. I got you. Y'all are giving George that work. So today I will be on Carrie Smith's show, Deprogram. Let's see if she put up her the thumbnail so I was waiting to see if the thumbnail went up. I didn't see it earlier. Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith. I'll be on there today. And we're gonna have a good old conversation. I think we're just talking. I think she's just wanted me to come on and introduce me to her audience and want to have a good little conversation, a little chat, if you will. So I said, sure, why not? Here, let me drop this on y'all. And I don't see that she's put the thumbnail up. But that's where I'll be this afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Oh, they read my super chat? Hold on, let me go back and read it. Hold on. Let me go back. So they did read the super chat? Bless their hearts. All right, let's go. All right, let's pull this. I'll let y'all watch it too. I'm gonna scrub through and
on individuals who speak out. So that has me a little bit concerned, but I know the truth.
I don't have a lot to say about this Joe Kent guy. I got a lot of problems with it. All right, what did it say? They did what they read it. I see here, this is what the comment is. Here, let me pull it. Let's double check. Okay. I think we're up to date, up to speed.
Is that there was a,
and then, you know what I mean? This.
The one guy that got famous on Candace's show being, you know, bringing up the whole Fort Huachuca story and accusing Erica Kirk of being at this secret military meeting. Now he is admitting, as like, he's basically saying, yeah, it was Joe Kent that's the leader. He was on this podcast.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want. I'll look it up later. I don't want to be too long. So we don't. The intent was not to be super long on this morning show. Yeah, they read them at the end. I'll wait. I'll find it. I'll find it. But I still think that's hilarious, though. Shout out. I have not talked about that because what's new? What we already knew this. We knew they can't. But and I put this out there and I said it on X. And my thought process is, why are those persons that support Candace not upset about Candace doing that? Because I don't expect Candace to talk about God, because Candace is not, I don't believe that Candace is a Christian. So I don't actually expect her to do that. Does that make sense? So that's on brand. For me, that's on brand. That's Candace's brand for her to talk. And if you're not familiar, I'm going to bring in Milk Bar real quick, because I keep saying I don't want to be here long. We're going to probably be here long. All right, let me bring in Milk Bar real quick so you all can see, just in case you didn't see. If you're not familiar with this, Candace was at Catholics for Catholics this past Friday and Saturday. And she talked about her favorite topic herself. Let me bring this in. Let's see what y'all think. I'm just going to let it play. It did not pop.
I will never forget this. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Truly an honor to be here. This is my first Catholic event, so I will never forget this. You know, I just had that Catholic excitement. Yes, just me. I did this. I walk a lot. I do. I walk every day. I've just walked 14 miles. My Apple Watch has died. I'm not kidding. I would say I was feeling good. I was like, but I'm doing good. I was like, I'm so hot. I am so sweaty. Like I was like, and I'm physically like, I can't even look at that. I'm bumpy. I personally couldn't eat. And so I put that thought away, and I'm a glutton for punishment. When I'm like, I'm just, hey, I've done 18 miles today. I've never done so many steps. Like my hair, fists hurt. My hair. I don't know if it was the Lord, I don't know if it was Deb, I don't know if it was my husband, but somebody said, you got to do this all again tomorrow. I have 10 miles left. Like, how am I possibly going to do this? And I am not okay. Right? I think, like, yes, I love free market. I love conservatism. I love capitalism. I love this country. I think this country is amazing. I love this so much. The Lord will be with you. I want to go. I was like, oh my God, can you believe these people? They're talking to Jesus Christ. And I'm walk on those strange little pads in the grocery store. And next thing you know, everyone's doing this, and God forbid you forgot the rice. I couldn't make this up. It is the absence of God that leads to all of these things, and I have no idea what's going on. When I tweeted last November that Christ is King. Never in my life have seen anything like it. I literally just tweeted Christ is King, and Christ is King, but Christ is King. Candace Owens, Christ is King. Elation that I felt. I just couldn't believe it. I did this. Like, I actually did this. I cannot believe I actually did this. If I had known, and this made me want God again. I couldn't make this up. I don't know if it was the Lord. I don't know if it was Deb. I don't know if it was my husband. The left hates God and all this stuff. I am where I was at. When I thought to myself, and by the grace of God, me and my husband have survived everything. This platform was given to me. God, I found me, not mine, it's me, like me. But for the first time, my celebrity made sense to me. Mine. I mean, I am, and I me, and if I me. Really, that is just such an analogy for my entire life and my entire ascension.
All right, I saw that, and a lot of people were. I personally, she's on brand. She's on brand. If you watch that, and I'll drop the link to it. Let me grab it real quick. I'll drop the link to it in the chat. If you watch it, a lot of the times when she does reference God and good gracious, when she references Christ, she's not saying it in a reverential state. She's using it as like a slogan, like God forbid. Most people don't consider that any kind of reverential statement. If I say heaven forbid it snows today, they don't think that as being a religious statement or of the such and that nature. So my question before is, why are Catholics not upset about this? I understand somebody said, there is a movement to get her excommunicated, but I don't know Catholic doctrine. But she said here, by the way, this is not the first Catholic event she spoke at. She's been at this event before. I did the video where she's talking about her testimony, giving her testimony. Unless this is the same one, which I don't think it is, this was a new one, then she's been there before. But I digress. I don't know Catholic doctrine, but apparently she's never been confirmed as a Catholic. She hasn't received the right hand of fellowship, so to speak, I guess. But she's been baptized? I don't know how that works. It seems like there's a lot of cart before the horse type of scenario going on there. So I don't know if she could be excommunicated because is she really Catholic? I don't know. But I'm wondering, why are true Catholics not upset about this? I'm not a Catholic. I'm too smart. I'm not smart enough to be a Catholic. Remember that? I'm a Protestant. I'm a Presbyterian, to be specific. I don't have a dog in the Catholic race. I just want to know why Catholics are not upset about it. That's the only question I got. Yeah, y'all are allowing this woman to get up here platform. She's not even a convert yet. She hasn't been confirmed, but y'all let her come speak at your Catholic for Catholics event. That doesn't seem weird to y'all? Okay. All right. Well, there you go. In my opinion, has she committed an unpardonable sin? The unpardonable sin is not to repent. From my understanding, the unpardonable sin is to not repent. because that will be the sin. Once your eyes are closed, you've not been, that sin is there. So to not repent is the sin. When Christ says repent and believe the gospel, that's it. So by not repenting, you are not, that is the unpardonable, because you won't be dealt with once your eyes are closed. But Candace she has so many other problems that I don't think she literally has so much excavating to do, that in order to get her to the place of having that discussion. Yeah, I don't know. And again, I don't want, because we could turn this I don't want to turn this into a Presbyterian versus Catholic discussion over here today. So I'm not messing with my Catholic friends. I'm not bothering with y'all. What I am saying, however, is I'm wondering why persons who believe the I don't know why I want to keep saying Catherine, the Catholic doctrine, why are they not in uproar about, I don't have a dog in the race. I'm just glad she stopped pretending like she was a Protestant. I'm just glad, look, I'm glad y'all take her. I'm just glad she stopped faking the funk over here. Why are y'all allowing her to fake the funk on your side is the question. Yeah, and then even with the, yes, thank you, Keisha. Even when she was saying Christ is King, it's said as a slogan, because everybody, I mean, you can find example upon example upon example of the people who made all that hay about Christ is King doing it for the wrong reasons. Again, Christ had not become king of their lives. They were just using it as a pejorative almost. And that's pretty clear and evident. Y'all want her? Okay, what do we have here? Okay, baptism, catechism, confirmation. So that's the path of, okay. So she said she was baptized. That's interesting, because yeah, Presbyterians do that completely another direction. You are catechized, then confirmed as a believer, given a testimony before your elders. This is me and Presbyterians, I'm sorry. And then you're baptized and receive the right hand of fellowship. So like a 2-part confirmation. That's not the best example. Interesting. Okay. She's still alive. So so my understanding, she's not committed the unpardonable sin because she's still alive. Yeah, it was a thumb in the eye. It was a thumb in the eye to persons who are Jewish. It was a thumb in the eye to other people to be like, and again, it's not out of reverence. It's not out of the fact that Christ is the king of my life. Jesus Christ rules and reigns over my life and directs and guides me. No, I'm just using it as a pejorative. Shout out to she said, man, stop playing. Stop worrying about being here for a long time, because we want you to be here for a long time. Thank you so very much for the 5. I appreciate it. And walking with Jesus, thank you so much with the Australian $2.99. He is making his presence known. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. I love it. Thank you so much. Candy, oh man, with the 5. Love your message. Thank you so much. Hope it's not the Candy O. We don't need the Candy O up in here. Or do we? We might need it. I don't know. I don't think we do. Anyway, y'all, this Atlanta traffic is bonkers. We're gonna do a segment, maybe just like a recap, because this traffic, I'm looking at the X feed right now. Yeah, this is embarrassing. I'm serious. I might cancel my trip, because I just don't have the patience for this. I just don't. I'm not made for that. I already don't like traveling already. I'm not a big travel guy. They got ICE doing crowd control. I need ICE doing TSA work. That's what we need. We need ICE getting these people through. That's what we need. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in Cali. If this is even remotely like this, your boy not going. Me and Chief Executive Second are staying here. I might tell my wife to stay. She's got an appointment, We might not go. That's crazy work. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. She says she was baptized. Matter of fact, let me find that video real quick. All right. So I did a video early on looking at Candace's giving her testimony. I have several videos on my channel of Candace's testimony of her quote unquote conversion and her subsequent conversion from Protestantism to Catholicism. And I really think this is I don't know if this is the same one. You know what? I'm almost going to go on a limb. That was not this weekend. And I think I know why it wasn't this weekend, because Candace's foot is not broken. That video that Milk Bar just dropped, that we just watched, that's not from this weekend. No, that video is not from this weekend, because Candace Owens, hold on one second. I can't find my video because I don't remember what I named it. Okay. All right. Yeah, because yeah, here it is. Okay, so let me pull it in real quick. This is from. This is not. Okay, so that was not from this weekend. The video that we saw, that was not from this weekend. That was from last year. Which again, I'm still okay. Again, not trying to pick on persons who are Catholic. Okay, we can have that fight out. We can have a shootout later on. We're not doing that. All I'm trying to ask is, this is from a year ago. She still is not a confirmed Catholic, but she's speaking at this event. This is the event that she was at. That's it right there. So does that not bother people that like she's not confirmed and she just keeps speaking at these events on behalf of Catholics? That's the thing. I think most people find like a head scratcher is she's there as a representative of Catholicism. So everything in her body of work represents Catholicism. I think we all know that. Yeah, so this is from 2024. Let me double check. Was it 2025 or 2024? Hold on one second, y'all. I'm gonna look this up. Okay, so I don't know, y'all. And again, this is from May 30th, 2024. Let me drop this on there for y'all. So to me, that's almost 2 years. We're almost on the 2-year mark. She'll probably be, I guess, confirmed or whatever before, but she's been representing Catholicism for 2 years. It just seems interesting. I don't know. I'm not trying to. Yeah, that just seems odd that she's not a, I guess, confirmed Catholic. She hasn't been received the right hand of fellowship, whatever, but she's over here on stage representing Catholics for Catholics. Okay, that just seems odd. And the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is because the Holy Spirit is telling us to repent. So I might be a little bit, maybe I'm being a little too, you are correct. But the Holy Spirit is telling us to repent. And by being disobedient, we are, in my understanding, we're blaspheming the Holy Spirit by not being obedient to the call to repent and turn. Repent and believe the gospel. Okay, let us keep this moving. Let's keep this moving. Yeah, I think, and this is where I have the problem, Keisha. People use Candace Owens because of the influence she has. Could be why they use her. See, that's the point. I think they are using and being used. I think they're using her and she's using them. And to me, that's grimy work. They should be protecting their brand, their image, more than just saying, oh, we got to have the newest and coolest hot kid on the block that's going to represent us. Yay. Oh, yeah, this person represents us. And this person, I mean, is that what we're doing? Is that what y'all are doing? It just seems like that is a problem. And it's like what she did in the conservative movement. If she stays a Catholic, I'll be very surprised. That's all I'm going to say. I will be very surprised if 2 years from now, she's still a professing Catholic. I'll be surprised. By the next presidential election, if she's still a Catholic, I will absolutely be like, I did not see that coming. I didn't. But see, I never, and thank you so much, M. Rashawn. Thank you so much. I didn't accept Kanye. I'm on record saying give him 2 years, give him 5 years. If he is a believer, he'll still be a believer in 2 years. He'll still be a believer in 5 years. That's what I said, and I stick by it. I'm not in a rush to confirm somebody. Paul said, don't be hasty to lay hands on somebody. Okay, what happened here? Well, Candace is never going to apologize because Candace is, as we see, and I have my video coming up. Let me see if my editor has sent it back to me. I did my video on Nicole Arbor. A lot of people have been talking about this on X about Nicole Arbor and how she came out and addressed her falling out with Candace, because it is kind of interesting. And I'll just give y'all, since y'all are here, don't tell nobody. I've been looking at why is it a situation where people used to be friends with Candace, they rock with Candace, they work with Candace, and then all of a sudden they become her enemies. How does that keep happening? Because it does seem to be a trend. And of course, the common factor is Candace. But why is it that keeps happening? And so I was very interested in that whole Nicole thing. So I did a video on it, and it has not, my editor hasn't sent it back to me yet. But you got to make sure you check your homework, man. Check your homework, my guy. So as soon as I get it back, you'll see it. I'll probably just put it up immediately. But if it drops it now, we might just watch it. Let me check real quick. Okay. But as soon as I have it, y'all see it. But my point is, I think with Nicole Arbor and others, we're seeing a trend that I really wish people would like stand up to and say, hey, why is it that Candace Owens, when she runs afoul of somebody or somebody runs afoul of her, please forgive me, she goes scorched earth on them. Kim Klacik, she tries to destroy them. Nicole Arbor, she really, truly has no remorse for them whatsoever. Erica Kirk. So it just seems odd. Like her positioning on them is crazy work. So I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all got to say about that. He has not sent it back to me. But as soon as I have it, you'll have it. Good to see y'all. I don't know many people who did either, but the general zeitgeist was trying to tell you that he was a representative of Christianity. And I'm like, that's a lie from the pit of hell. That was a lie straight from the pit. No, that wasn't it. And most people didn't believe Kanye. Most people didn't. I think they were trying to sell Kanye because a lot of people bought into Candace. That's the thing. Because a lot of people bought into Candace into her conservatism without any double checking, reference checks and whatnot. They thought that they could sell Kanye into the quote unquote Christian church, lowercase c Christian church, And even unbelievers weren't buying it. Now there were some, even the lukewarm churches weren't buying it. She burns a lot of bridges. Why is that though? That's so interesting. She burns a lot of them. And I only brought this up because I do think that it's a little confusing, because a lot of people might have thought that this was from this past weekend, the Catholics for Catholic event, and it actually wasn't. It's from 2 years ago. And, I don't think Milk Bar, I don't know. Let me check real quick. I don't think Milk Bar said one way or another. He might have. Nathan's good at that. I don't see. Where is it, Jason? Oh. Here, but I do know what I want to see. I'm glad I pulled this up. There's the interview with Rabbi Walt Wicke, and I have it on my list to do. So let's just pull that in, and we'll do that real quick. And I think the young lady's name is Erin Molan, is her name, and it seemed like a really good content creator. She sat down with, she's an Australian TV host, I think her name. Yep, okay. And she sat down with Rabbi Walt Wicke and did a breakdown with him about, they knew that Joe Clark was the leaker, the leak. So let me pull this in. All right, let me back this in. All right. I don't know if y'all have seen this. Green hearts in the chat. Oh, she is good? Okay, shout out. Thank you. What is Amethyst Angel saying this morning? She said, might I suggest that the discussion around blasphemy be directed to Corey Minor, Smart Christians, or Rick Caldwell? Yeah, absolutely. I will absolutely. Matter of fact, let me go ahead real quick, and I'll send it to Rick right now. Rick did a great Ask Me Anything yesterday, so absolutely. Let us go. Let me drop it. Hold on, let me send it to him right now. While it's on my mind, he'll call me and ask me like 12 questions. There you go. All right, it's in Rick's folder right now. It's in his email. All right, let's go see what Erin Molan was talking about with Rabbi Walt Wicke. I'm just gonna let it play. Shout out to the best live chat. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
Joe Kent quit the National Counterterrorism Centre because he says he disagreed with Donald Trump on the war in Iran, despite plenty of comments to the contrary quite recently. He's being investigated by the FBI for allegedly leaking classified information. But what about that infamous Charlie Kirk group chat given to Candace Owens? A member of that group chat knows exactly who's been leaking to her the entire time. Let's talk about Joe Kent to start with. Big headlines regarding his resignation and, of course, the circuit of clowns that he has partaken in since.
So let me tell you something about Joe Kent that probably no one listening here knows, okay? So if anyone's been following the plot about Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and the famous text messages where Charlie was having a day where he was very upset at his Jewish donor who pulled out, and that famous screenshot that Candace made so much of. So here's something, I'm kind of revealing this for the first time, Aaron. You know that I was in that chat group, right? We talked about that last time. The members of that chat group have known for quite some time that the way that those screenshots got to Candace is via Joe Kent. You see, this has never been made public before, Aaron. Right now on your show, this is I'm saying this. So let me explain. Andrew Colvett, who's was Charlie's number 2 guy, who now hosts the show. Andrew was in the chat group as well. He was one of the 9 people in the group, and he admitted at first. Be perfectly honest, at first he was denying it. We didn't know how Candace got them, but then he admitted on the air on his show that he had given these text messages. And when I say text messages, screenshots, there were 2 screenshots that he gave. One was that famous screenshot of that text exchange. And the other was a screenshot with the names of everyone in that chat group. Okay? And he gave them to, he said that on the show that he gave them to someone in the government. He told us that he gave them to someone in the government, and his rationale for it, which I think is foolish, although I'm not going to go too hard against Andrew here. I like Andrew as a person. We're friendly. And with Charlie just having been killed, I'm sure there was a lot going on, and I know that he regrets doing this. But his rationale was he didn't want to leave any stone unturned, and he was asked about this by someone in the government, and that he gave those screenshots to someone in the government. And of course, the response of the people in the chat group was, you don't have a right to do that. This is a private chat group. There was no warrant. It doesn't work that way. But nevertheless, he did it. And the next thing we know, Candace Owens is talking about it. Now, Candace has said publicly that she had been in touch with Andrew after Charlie's assassination, and that they had been talking. But we knew that even if Andrew might, maybe in some alternate, if Andrew had messed up and given her the text message with her name in it, where Charlie was saying he might invite her back to AmFest because he was upset at this Jewish donor, that could be possible that he would do that, although unlikely, because TPUSA had broken with Candace, and Andrew knows who Candace is and what she might do with that, so it was doubtful. But what really made us feel that Andrew was not the one to give her the text messages was that second screenshot. There's no way, even if he had shared that first screenshot, that he would have revealed to Candace Owens the names of all 9 people in the group. It made no sense. So we didn't know how it got to her. And then we started putting pieces together. Because Joe Kent was someone that we knew that there was a relationship there between Charlie and Andrew and Joe. We knew that when Charlie would visit Washington, D.C., he would talk to Joe. And we kind of put 2 and 2 together, and eventually, I'll leave out some of the details that I shouldn't say. We kind of verified that the messages had been given by Andrew to Joe Kent, and that Joe Kent had been the one to pass them on to Candace. And I was thinking about this when I saw that interview that Tucker did with, so Tucker did this interview with Joe, and Joe was talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination. And you have to remember that Candace kept saying that she has information from the top levels, that there's questions to be asked. Okay, this is all Joe Kent. Because he's the head of counter. Now you have to think of it from Candace's perspective. This is someone who's the head of the counterterrorism center, and he's saying that there's something there, right? And he gave her the text messages. So when he was being interviewed by Tucker, and he said to Tucker, well, we all know about the text messages which were made public. That was his exact words, which were made public.
Because of this happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's unanswered questions. We know the pressure because of the text messages that have been made public, that Charlie was under a lot of pressure from a lot of pro-Israel donors. And again, we know Charlie was advocating to President Trump against this war with Iran.
And I'm watching this, and of course, the millions of people who watch this aren't seeing it the way I'm seeing it. I'm looking at going, excuse me, which were made public? You made them public.
Yes.
You talk about leaking. Now, in other words, let me back up and say it this way. Even if you say that there's reason to investigate this, there's no justification for sending those text messages to Candace Owens. None whatsoever. Anyway, that's my little reveal for you.
I mean, thank you, first of all, for sharing. And the second part to that, though, Rabbi, is I watched him with Megyn Kelly, and she asked him in 3 different kind of ways that felt as though it had been rehearsed prior, if I'm being honest. And his response of no to her questions about had he been leaking. I mean, it looked like, I'm not going to use an analogy that's inappropriate, but, he looked nervous and completely unsure of what he was saying, and the no was so weak. There was nothing in it that felt like he was. I mean, if someone was accusing me of that, I'd be pushing back hard. But he was kind of no. I just feel like, how can he say that though if he has done it? Because he's said definitively no to leaking. Will he now look at it when it comes out and say, oh well, leaking is defined as this, and what I did wasn't or they weren't confidential? That he'll somehow try to get out of it. But the way he handled Megyn Kelly, I thought he looked wormish.
Yeah, I think he's a mediocre person. I mean, but he also got into a bad crowd. Much has been made online in the last couple of days about how his tweets from a few years ago were in a completely different direction on Iran, and of course his second wife, who he recently married, has written for Gray Zone, worked for Max Blumenthal, who's a notorious Israel hater, America hater, Russia and Iran shill, and that's who he's married to. So there's a lot of questions there, and it also raises. I'll tell you something else, and this is just conjecture.
My full interview with Rabbi Walicki, also known as Charlie Kirk's rabbi, drops 6 a.m. ET Monday. Don't miss it. It's huge. He debunks so many of the ridiculous allegations coming out of this MAGA fracture. Also, the personal impact of war.
All right. Well, shout out to Erin Molan. I like her. I like her take on things. So anyway, that was the interview with Rabbi Walt Wicke, and lots of good. Now her actual interview is pretty long. I ain't gonna lie, it's long. It's an hour and a half, and I don't want to be holding y'all hostage like that. Let's see. It's an hour and 5 minutes. Doggone it. Here, I'll drop it in the chat. Y'all can definitely check it out. Hey, by the way, the person that says I'm being paid, you want to go ahead? I'll drop the link. You're welcome to come up. If you want to come, let me know, yay, nay. I will drop the link for you. You can tell me how I'm getting paid. Yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah, let me give you all this. I just said I was going to give it to you, and I didn't. I love it. I love it. And there we go, right there. All right, so that's Aaron's video right there. I am not gonna play it right now, but it definitely looks interesting. So I would love to come on down. Let me know just let me know if you're gonna come through, man. I will definitely drop the link for you to come on by. Love to hear what you got to say and set me straight, or give me your insight and input on that. It would be great. They get quiet when you give them a link, though. That's so wild. I don't know what the link does. The link makes people get quiet. I don't know what happened. Terrible. All right. Y'all, we Atlanta needs you to pray for them. This airport looks crazy. I don't care what nobody say. This airport looks absolutely insane. All right. Something's got to happen. Something's going to have to. We are definitely going to be praying and fasting for the Atlanta airport to get their lives together. They said they're asking you to allow 4 hours or more for domestic and international screenings. That is insane. 4 hours. So if your flight is at 6 p.m., you need to be there by 2. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, this is I don't know what to do, but I would like to know, like, are other cities, big cities, also experiencing this? So if y'all do run across that, hesitate to shoot me an email, maybe just like a summary. If the news is doing something about it, that might be interesting. But you don't have to send me 500,000 Twitter posts about it. But I'm just checking real quick to see. Ooh, I don't know what are they doing? Atlanta needs a hug. I'm telling you, man. Dog, I hate this. because it's already a congested airport. They're already doing a lot there at the moment. Building, doing all this kind of stuff like that. Oh, we got. All right. So me and Carrie are going live. I just got my thumbnail for that. So I'm going to put that on my video or put that in my community post. And we're going live in 4 hours, she says. 4 hours? What does that mean? Let me shoot her a message. I got to pick up my baby from school. I thought she was on my time. Anyway. Wolicki. Gotcha. ICE is there at the Atlanta airport right now. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Hopefully it'll they can get these lines moving, this is just absolutely insane. Yeah, they're here in Atlanta airport. I'm looking at pictures right now, ICE agents at the Atlanta airport. Man. 2 p.m. Central Time is 3 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. Should be fun. All right. Me and Carrie gonna have a good little conversation. I'm looking forward to it. It's faster to drive from Houston to New Orleans than to fly there. Yeah, man, that's embarrassing. And again, like if Democrats win, it's our fault. After what they just did right here, after this complete and total disgrace that we're watching right here, line upon line upon line in Hartsfield Jackson and other places, if y'all run your little happy selves out of here, you get to wherever you're going and you get amnesia and you forget and still vote Democrat, that's you. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say for you. I don't know what to do for you. Because it just doesn't make sense. They should not be proud of what they're doing. All right, I see right here. Okay. All right, good people. What'd you say here? I got to get the gun. Go get my child needs to learn parallel park. Uh-oh. Shout out. New drivers in the building. Shout out to the new drivers. Oh, well, I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, good souls. Let's do this. I am going to get ready to run my errands today, but this afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be on with Carrie from Deprogram with Carrie Smith. We're just going to have a good conversation. That'll be our Monday chat. It should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. And then on tomorrow, I think the rest of the week, I think I just have our normal evening breakdown of Charlie Kirk's lectures and Q&As, but I'll make sure if there's anything changes. I had a couple of guests that were scheduled, but I think we're all starting in April. But I guys just have to double check. But I do want to say again, thank you so much this past weekend. I really appreciate you liking and watching all the videos, all that kind of good shenanigans. It means a lot. Thank you for subscribing, all that kind of jazz like that. I really do appreciate it. If you don't mind, if you run across something that you find of value, don't mind tagging me to it. Feel free to tag me to it. I really do appreciate it. A lot of you all do that, or shoot me an email, jwitt@jwitt.com. I appreciate it because then it gives me an opportunity to check out what you're doing and, of course, bring something to the good of everybody. So thank you so much. What we have here? Y'all, there's something else. Is this Mira K? It's not Mira K, right? No. Okay. Well, everybody, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Let's get ready to have a great Monday. If you don't mind, do me a favor. Make sure you tip your waiter on the way out the door. Green hearts in the chat on your way out. I'll see you all this afternoon over at Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith. I'll probably stream it to my channel as well, Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith. I'll make it available over here as well. So I'll see you all real soon, everybody. Grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.